But here's why I'm going to tell Yankee fans that although you might have felt good after hearing those reports, I'm here to burst your bubble. Because none of those things matter to Juan Soto. He could love the conversation that he had with Hal. He can love the fact that he's going to have a seat at the table and be involved in certain conversations and trades. He would love to have his name in Monument Park with Babe Ruth and Luke Gehrig and Derek Jeter and, Reggie Jackson, all of these greats. He would love to say, with you, we're going to get back to the World Series again. Maybe win it this time. All of those things are nice. But if Juan Soto doesn't see the money that he wants, because all he wants, and he told you right after you lost the World Series, he didn't even wait. He said, cameras, zoom it and zoom it good. I want the money. I'm going to listen to everybody. I want to be the highest paid.
Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
We are back. Welcome to the All Even Podcast. My name is Barry Grant Jr. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. Does people even use that anymore? I've heard that people are leaving that thing in mass exodus. Anyway, still on there at All Even Podcast. You can listen to the show on Podbeam as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend because the page is growing. I'm on TikTok as well, All Even Media. Missed the 10K, about to be 11K very, very soon. I've been on hiatus. It's fine. I'm back. Feel refreshed. Ready to roll. Ready to cause some trouble. Jimmy the Super Intern is here.
Indeed.
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Relaxing week. Haven't done much. I probably left my house only for school. And this, I guess.
How does that feel?
Pretty good, I guess.
I would love to have like a few lazy days, but I don't have that luxury. I have a son who's a maniac because he never sleeps. Well, he does sleep, but when he's up, there's no napping. Like, he doesn't believe in that. And then, I have two crazy cats who don't leave me alone. Rip up my house. There is no relaxing for me. But as long as I can live vicariously through the super intern, I will. Good to see you. It's been a while. You haven't been here in like a month.
No, I mean,
You haven't been here in a month.
I was here last time we had the pod.
Month.
Give or take.
Claw's not here. Claw has prior engagements. Shouts to Claw. But the Silent Assassin is here.
Hey.
What's up?
Nothing much.
I'm sure you went on vacation. You was good. Just left the pod. I don't care about what's going on here with you people. I need a break. I'm going. This is what you told me. I need a break from you. I don't care about what's going on with sports, with the pod. I'm leaving. And I said, all right. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? But no, glad to have you back. I hope you had a nice trip, nice vacation.
Mm-hmm. I always got the plane flu whenever I get back. I'm like allergic to planes. I don't know what it is, so I got a little cold.
Did you mask up?
No. I
See?
That's the thing. Like, I'm not like sick.
Right.
But I'm just like got something.
You know what it is? It's the fact that they have those dirty ass the fans on top.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't understand how they designed the plane in the first place. Right? Like, why would they think that blowing cold air on you at any point is acceptable? I just don't understand that. Like, why couldn't they just give you like, some like a vent in the front of your seat and like you can be able to flap that? Like that overhead fan shit is just, it's outdated.
No, it's terrible.
It don't make sense. Anybody I know that uses that gets sick.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's dirty as hell. They don't clean that shit.
They don't clean it, and then you're trapped in this like tank of all these gross people.
Right. Tank of germs.
Yeah. It's gross. I even had like this woman next to me in the play home. She was an older woman, and we didn't even like move yet.
Yeah.
You know, and then I hear her through my headphones start to snore so loud.
Oh my
And
God.
then she starts leaning, and I'm like, if this woman touches me, I'm gonna freak out. Like, I was sitting by myself. My brother was a few rows behind me, and I'm like, I'm gonna like panic. I don't want this. And she was a bigger woman. I was like, I don't want her anywhere.
Now here's a question.
It's, like,
Here's a
weird.
question.
Yeah.
If she would have touched you, like leaned on you and slept on your shoulder, would you have given her an elbow to the stomach?
I would have like moved a little bit like this.
I ain't gonna
like,
lie.
just-
I would have gave her an elbow. I would. Right in the sternum.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. You don't know me. Don't touch me. The whole plane experience is just, I'm over it. I really am. Like, I wish I could just like have a helicopter and just fly somewhere, or just one of those teleportation devices. They need to make that already. Like listen. There was a hearing like 8 days ago at the House committee. There's aliens out there, so just get the technology so we can be able to go head to head and just press a button or get on this pad or something. Like, I'm tired of the planes. There's too much technology out there. These aliens are flying around in different shit. We still got the old boring ass 747s flying on with the bad air and the bad food. How is that even a thing anymore? Bad food on a plane. I don't get it.
It's awful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So there's a lot of things that need to change. That's all I'm saying. Lots to get into, though. A lot of sports, obviously. It's a sports show. We're going to cover a little bit of Thursday Night Football, talk about the game, I guess, between the Steelers and the Browns. That was a shame. I don't know what the hell happened, but listen, any given Sunday, that's what happens. Big changes in New York football, right? The Jets are a disaster. The Giants are also a disaster. We're going to go ahead and talk about both of those situations. Let's see what else we got here. We have prime time. Deion Sanders is rumored to be a potential candidate for the Cowboys head coaching job. We're going to discuss, should he take that? Is that a viable option for him? A little bit of basketball as well. Sixers are a disaster. They're 2-12. We're going to talk about Joel Embiid. Has he created a irreversible environment in Philadelphia? Because you have players that are criticizing him now. The media has already been on his back, and I'm going to jump on the bandwagon as well, because I've been talking about Joel Embiid for a while, but now it's getting to a point where it's really disgusting. Paul George as well. I got words for Paul George. I definitely have words for Paul George, because what I saw him do after they got blown out or lost the game and ended up getting to 2-12. This is why we're in the situation that we're in with certain teams. Also, I'm going to just tell you right now, the NBA product is dead. It is dead. I have a way to revive it, but right now, we got to be honest. It's dead. Let's see what we got here. Mets offseason, the Juan Soto watch. I'm going to see what happens with that. I know what's going to happen. It's the inevitable. People want to go ahead and throw these smoke and mirror shit out. We know what's going to happen. And I'll detail that very, very soon. My irrelevant news of the week. There's this LeBron James topic as well I'd like to discuss briefly. Won't spend too much time on it, but I will. And then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Now, before I get into all that, life is funny. We can be able to discuss something and it could be public outrage. People could be like, oh my, we need justice because this is not right. You can have, all of these big sponsors and these companies, they want to distance themselves for certain controversy, certain things. They don't want to get close to the stink. But what happens when those allegations are false or charges get dropped and there's no viable evidence. All of the people that had pitchforks and wanted this person excommunicated from society, all of these big brands that tried to distance themselves from the stink. What ends up happening when it's the reverse? Is there apologies that happen? No, we normally don't see that. The apology is never as loud as the accusation. Never. Jonathan Majors. Cases dropped, charges dropped, but this man's life is forever changed. Had a bag from Disney. He was the top villain in the Marvel universe. Kang's no longer a thing. They had to change course. Didn't support him. Dropped him. So what happens now? I see a lot of people saying, I need receipts. I know all the people that was talking about Jonathan Majors. Revenge time. I'm sure he feels vilified and vindicated, but the damage has been done. His career possibly might be able to resurrect itself, but for where he was and where he was going, he might not see that again. The money that he lost, he'll never be able to recuperate. And that's my problem. It's not the fact that you don't want to believe when a woman comes out and says that, hey, this happened to me. Because our first reaction should be to believe that. Because these are serious allegations. But there's also a point where I always say we need to wait until all of the evidence is out to be able to have a well-rounded opinion about a particular topic. Not jump the gun. Oh, wait, that's irrational behavior. We as a society, we have to stop doing that. I think because we're in the social media phase and everybody wants to have their own opinions about shit, we tend to just jump the gun because we just want to get our opinions out there rather than wait, see what happens. No. We got to be the first to say it because I told you. Told me nothing. Because at the end of the day, you're wrong. Now this man has to suffer. I don't like that. We gotta be better. We have to be better. So if I'm Jonathan Majors, I'm gonna call my agent and say, get on the phone with Disney because I want an apology. I want a public apology from all the people that slandered my name. Every single one. All the big companies, all of the that said I'm a monster, I'm this, I'm that. All the people that came out in my past that said I was a jerk and an ass. All of these people that had something to say. I need an apology because I'm petty like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Anybody throw some shade at me like that, I'm going around. Yeah, remember what you said about me in 7th grade? I'm coming to collect. I'm like Jordan at his Hall of Fame speech. I'm going to bring the kid that made the team over me to my Hall of Fame speech. That's the type of shit I'm on. Damn that. Being humble and being nice in a world like this don't make sense. We seen what happened in our elections. It don't mean nothing no more. So I need people to have that same energy about Jonathan Majors, but in the other way in regards to apologizing to Jonathan Majors. Go on your public platforms, go on your YouTube channels, go on your TikToks and apologize about the man. Because when you have somebody telling you, and when you see the footage of this, this black man running from this white lady, you already know what it is, right? He's running from her. He wasn't running. He wasn't chasing her. She was chasing him. Come on now. Dead giveaway. I'm trying to get away from this crazy lady. All because I see my complexion and I already know what people are going to say. He's seen it. Man was trying to get out of the car. He trying to shove her into the car, so far into the car so she can't have any leverage to try to get out and chase him. He wanted to be 10 blocks down before she got out of the car. That doesn't, that doesn't come off to me as somebody who's aggressive. That's somebody who's just trying to get away. So, that's all I got. Anybody got nothing?
I was gonna say, like, even that whole situation, just a bad look on both ends, like men and women.
Yeah.
Because it makes, like I said, like you said, like any situation like that should be okay. This is serious, but let's look into it. Just get everything out there, because now women get a bad look saying you can't trust women, and then on the men's part, it just every man is like that, quote unquote. So I just don't. I don't know. Just don't lie about all that. It just makes no sense.
Don't jump the gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? First of all, what you said is right. Don't lie. And don't jump the gun. That's it. Let the evidence come out. We all know that Diddy's a wild, so we get that. Right? We got evidence about that. Right? There's no, trying to go around that. We've seen it. Right? We ain't see that about Jonathan Majors. And he got dragged through the coals for no reason. That's all I'm saying. Like, you can't try to like put him on pace or on the same level as other people that had certain situations. I saw nothing. Yeah, he said some wild shit on the phone. So about he need himself a Coretta King or whatever it is. Like, all right. Yeah. I need that. I need me a Michelle Obama. What's up? That's not me being offensive. I need somebody that's gonna ride out for me. That's all. That's all I was saying. She couldn't do it. So he had to go find him some Making Good. He got Making Good now. He good. He's all right. But man, they got my man. Listen, my TikTok has been going crazy. Shouts to the spiritual whistleblower. She went nuts on him. And I just sat there like, oh. I didn't say nothing. I just let her speak. But certain people had their opinions about that, and she had her strong opinions about that, and don't look like it's pretty accurate at this point. It's my friend, but she was wrong on that one. After the break, Thursday night football, I guess. Like, who cares about the Browns? Who really does care about the Browns, though? Honestly. Like, nobody cares. But we're going to talk about it briefly after the break.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Oh, listen. Shout out to the All Even podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, don't make it the joint. What's up?
All Even.
All Even podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this. Yo, what's up, man? All Even. Yo, you. Oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now you. Well, that's a shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump in the
All
camera?
Even podcast, right?
Yeah, All
Shout out
Even.
to All Even podcast, right? All Even. That's your man.
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even podcast. You cool?
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
G. Put him in G. Oh. Shout out, G.
He cool, man.
Welcome back, y'all. Browns Steelers Thursday night football. Browns get the surprising victory, 24-19. Jameis Winston does it again. Like, for some reason, this guy just has this level of positivity that I just don't understand, and it scares me. Like, nobody should be that positive. Nobody should be that positive. He's weird. He's weird, but he's magic on the field. He can throw 6 interceptions, but best believe that he's going to get 5 touchdowns. And that 5th touchdown will get you. Right? He didn't throw no touchdowns on Thursday, but he had an interception, but he had a very good game. He had a high QBR. I think his QBR was an 80. That's pretty damn good. Led the drive downfield in the snow, right? You got Nick Chubb gets the go-ahead touchdown. Like, it's a good game. It's a really good game, and it's always a tough situation when you have to play a division rival. Anytime the Browns and the Steelers play, it's a tough game. Anytime the Steelers and the Ravens play, it's a tough game. Anytime the Steelers and the Bengals play, it's a tough game. Like, they just tend to beat up on each other. Even Russell Wilson didn't play bad. The only person that kind of played bad was George Pickens. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I don't know what he was doing all night. Something wrong with him. But does this tell me anything about either team? We know that the Browns, they were 2-8. Now they're 3-8.
Yeah.
They're still looking for a quarterback. Jameis Winston's not the answer. We know that. We know that Deshaun Watson's not the answer. He need to go get some massages or something. He need to do something with himself. Because he lost his mojo altogether. Right? So they need a quarterback. The Steelers, they have the formula of success. They know what they do well. But the question that I'd like to ask, despite their record, right? What are they? 7-3, I believe.
8-3, maybe.
Is it 8-3? Yeah, they're 8-3. So despite their record, would you consider the Pittsburgh Steelers a contender or are they a pretender? After 11 weeks of watching them, obviously we had Justin Fields first, right? He held the ship down, but they weren't getting enough out of the offense. Russell Wilson comes back, and now the offense looks a lot better. The offensive pieces are starting to come around and click. You know, granted, this was a snowball, so you can't really fault a guy like Pickens if he wasn't on top of his game. You get it? But I've been saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers are legit all season. They have the defense to be a contender. They now have a well-rounded offense to be a contender. Their offensive coordinator has done a great job getting them involved. The running game has kind of taken a bounce back. You know, Mike Tomlin is doing his thing. Yeah, they're a contender. I literally think that the Pittsburgh Steelers on any given Sunday can be able to beat a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. They can beat the Buffalo Bills. They can beat these other teams. So yeah, they're definitely contenders. Do I think that Mike Tomlin's style of play is outdated? Could be. But all it takes is a good quarterback to be able to steady the ship. He hasn't had that in about 4 or 5 seasons. Ever since Ben retired, right? They've been looking for a quarterback. They've been trying to plug and play different guys. Like I've said it all the time on the show, and Silent Assassin laughs every time I say it. He drags dead bodies to the playoffs. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. He's going to drag that team to the playoffs. Now he has an actual guy that can be able to win games for you. He's done that in his career. I'm not a Russell Wilson fan. I think he's a weirdo, but hey, the man's playing well. And if you ain't got to pay him, even better. You got somebody else paying him. So, do I think his style is a little outdated? Yeah, it could be, right? You're thinking about guys that have that type of mindset, Bill Belichick type of guys. It could be a little outdated, but hell, works for Dan Campbell. The Lions are one of the best teams in the league. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season in his career. So, if he's outdated, I'd like outdated then. Give me the stale milk then, if it's always going to be something I could be able to drink and live. That's fine. I don't give a damn. I don't care about the almond milk that's like water. I don't want that. Give me the stuff that works. That's what I'm saying. So, can people say it's outdated? Can people criticize a guy like Mike Tomlin? Absolutely, they can criticize him. But is it warranted to criticize him? Absolutely not. The man wins. You can't win Super Bowls every year, but you can damn sure try to get your team in position to make the playoffs. And that's what he does every damn season. Moving on. What New York team am I going to tackle first? Who's the biggest disaster? Let's go to the Giants first. Let's just go there because they have the biggest news. Daniel Jones has been released upon his request. And it's not shocking to me, but here's the problem. Here's the problem that I'm having is that what took them so long? Like, this is one of the things that confuses me about certain teams, right? They drafted this kid 4.5 years ago or something. The Gettleman that was here, Dave Gettleman was the GM. And Dave Gettleman thought that he was going to be able to prove people wrong. Oh, I want to take this kid out of Duke that doesn't process the game fast enough, that has a decent arm, he's a decent athlete, but there's something missing between his ears. He just has this deer in the headlights look in school. But I'm going to be the guy to say everybody was wrong. All the scouts that pinned him and said that, yeah, he's a decent quarterback, but we don't know if he's actually going to be a QB1. They had concerns about this kid coming out. Oh, no, Dave Gettleman said, screw your concerns. I'm taking him number 6. You could have had Dwayne Haskins if you wanted to. You took Daniel Jones. Then that regime leaves. Daniel Jones stays. Doesn't really play that well. Daniel Jones stays. You have Saquon Barkley, who's this dynamic running back. Daniel Jones stays. And then now they say, well, he's not that good. What gave it away? He's been trashed since he's been here. You give him $40 million, but you don't want to give Saquon $3 extra million? You see what he's doing in Philly? This organization is a disaster. And here's the fact about the Giants. Outside of those 2 Super Bowls, and you can't take them away, right? So this is not what I'm trying to do, but if you're just going to put those 2 seasons and isolate them, but then look at the bigger picture over the last 20-something years, the Giants have been one of the worst teams in football. You're up there with the Panthers. You're up there with all of the bad teams. All of them. This franchise has been a disgrace for a very long time. And it doesn't look like it's getting better because I've got to trust you guys to pick a quarterback. There's 2 black quarterbacks in this draft that are really good. I don't know if y'all going to take them. I don't know. I haven't seen that. Yeah, you signed Tyrod Taylor as a veteran, but to sign a guy as your franchise guy, the Giants, I'd love to see it. Before I say anything, I'd love to see it. You need a quarterback, we'll see what happens. Because they would rather take the idiot with the deer in the headlights look over a guy like Saquon Barkley that you could have gave the money to. You could have still been bad, and then you could have drafted your quarterback and had Saquon Barkley on the cheap. Had the quarterback on the cheap, had Saquon on the cheap. Wouldn't that have been a better strategy? Save the $40 million, give the running back the money, and then go get a young quarterback or a veteran bridge quarterback until you find your quarterback? Because Saquon Barkley wanted to stay. Because you imagine that after all of that, he actually gave you the chance to match it. Or give him a kind of, $3 million more. We can't do that. But you're willing to give the idiot deer in the headlights quarterback $40 million just like that. Easy. I don't feel sorry for the Giants. And I'm so happy that Daniel Jones in week, what is this? Week 10? Week 11?
11, I think.
The man said, I don't even want to wait. I am going to pen a goodbye letter in week 11 because I'm out of here. I'd rather be a free agent and not play with anybody for the rest of the season than be attached to this organization so they can further throw me under the bus trying to say that it's my fault that this team is so bad. That's the thing. You're not going to scapegoat me. That's what he said to himself. I got to get out of here before they try to do that because obviously they've been doing it. Yeah, he's bad, but he's not as bad as the Giants organization. It's just like Bryce Young, right? Bryce Young is bad, but he's not as bad as the Carolina Panthers organization. They're worse. So all Giants fans, yeah, give him the money over Saquon because no running back deserves that. Okay. See what he's doing for Philly? Look very smart now, don't you? It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Maras needs to sell the team. They do. Because if you got people in there, isn't this like a new regime anyway? They hired a new GM, and they still don't know what the fuck they doing. Is it Brian Dable's fault? Is it the coach? Huh? Is it? Should Brian Dable have a shot at finding his own quarterback? Yeah, he should. Because he walked into this disaster. He should be able to pick his own guy. And if it's up to Dable, he'll pick Shador. He would. Will the Maras allow him to? That's the question. I'm not putting out no allegations. I just never seen a black quarterback in the Giants before. I just never seen it. I never seen it. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. The Jets. I'm not even going to do Jets Watch. I'm not even going to disrespect Claw and do the Jets Watch stuff. We're just going to get right into it. The New York Jets have been the talk for weeks now, how bad they are, how overrated they are, how this is one of the most disappointing seasons, chaotic. You had Robert Saleh get fired mid-season. They fired Joe Douglas recently. The season ain't over. They're blaming Aaron Rodgers about how bad he is. Why'd you get Devontae Adams? Hassan Reddick's situation that played out so poorly in the media. Ahmad Gardner, because I don't call him Sauce. He hasn't earned the name because he's been rubbish. The offensive line, garbage. This whole team just sucks. Everybody wants to blame Aaron Rodgers. Okay, blame the 40-year-old quarterback. Blame the 40-year-old quarterback that's coming off an Achilles surgery. Blame him. He's the problem. He can't throw the football anymore. Blame him for the problem. Blame him for not having a tight end, right? Blame him for not having a good offensive line. Blame him for having Breece Hall not be good the first 6 weeks of the season. Go ahead. Blame him. He deserves some of the blame. He's done some stuff. He brought Alan Lazard here. You didn't need to give him a 4-year deal, right? All of these things are true. The Jets are a disaster. They are. But here's the problem in all of this, is that there's one person or there's one thing that's the constant in New York. It's not Aaron Rodgers. He just got here. It's not Ahmad Gardner. He just got here. It's not even Joe Douglas who picked the groceries, and he picked a lot of bad ones. He just recently got here. It's the guy that's been owning the team that wants to be a part of the Trump administration for a second term. It's Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson's the problem. He's owned this team since what? January of 2000. That's 24 years. Jimmy, would you like to know how many winning seasons the Jets have had under Woody Johnson's watch?
I'll guess 5.
It's a good guess. Silent Assassin, would you like to take a guess?
So winning season?
Yes.
7?
Very good guess. Both good guesses. The answer's 8. They haven't made the playoffs since, 2012?
I think so.
So you can blame the players, right? You can blame the GM who picks the players. All right, great. But who's blaming the meddling idiot owner? No one. That's what I'm going to do. I'm doing that. It's Woody Johnson's fault. It comes from the top. If you have a coach, if you have an owner that fires a head coach because the head coach didn't want the star receiver, and you meddle into that, if you meddle into the team saying Aaron Rodgers deserves to be benched after 4 games, we're 2-2, he needs to be benched. For who? There's a reason why Bill Belichick does not want. He's open. He's free. He needs a job. He will never coach the Jets. You know why? It's not the fact that he hates New York. He actually has a fondness for New York. He was the defensive coordinator on some legendary Giants teams. His actual playbook is in the Hall of Fame for one of his Super Bowl victories with the Giants. He loves the Giants. He has respect for the Giants. He actually loved the Jets as well because he was with Bill Parcells. He was actually the head coach because Bill Parcells picked him to succeed him. But you know what happened when he took the job? Anybody? Anyone? Woody Johnson bought the team shortly after that. And you know what Bill Belichick said to himself? Fuck that. I'm out. I am not going to work for an owner that's an idiot, that doesn't know football. I need somebody who's a football guy who's going to be able to allow me to make football decisions and do what I have to do, rather than come down to the locker room or try to tell me how to run a football team when you couldn't lead me out of a fucking parking lot. That's the problem. That's why he went to New England, and who did he partner with? Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft knows him some football. 7 Super Bowls later, right? Or 6 Super Bowls later, whatever it was. 9 appearances. It's no coincidence that he decided to put his resume, his resignation in for the Jets. And he will never come back because Woody Johnson is there. So you can go ahead and go blame the head coach. You can blame the GM. You can blame Aaron Rodgers. You can blame the players. You can even blame the media for blaming the players. That's fine. Blame whoever the hell you want to blame. But everybody needs to start looking at the idiot owner, because he's the problem. Just like how people used to accuse the James Dolan, oh wait, he's one of the worst owners in basketball. Knicks look pretty good to me. They've been pretty fine. You know why? Because James Dolan hired some really good basketball people to run the show. Doesn't want to meddle because he knows. Doesn't really know that much. I'm not even going to fake like I know. I'm going to put the people that need to be in charge in charge. Woody Johnson, on the other hand, wants to come down and try to work his way into a negotiation meeting. Get your dumb ass up there and go make some baby oil. Don't nobody care about what you think about football. This is why the Jets suck. It's that simple. Me as a Met fan, I went through idiot ownership for the majority of my life. I know incompetence when I see it. The Mets never won a World Series under the tutelage of those owners. You know why? Because they're stupid. They're so stupid, they got caught up in a Ponzi scheme and lost their money and needed loans from Major League Baseball to keep the team afloat. Just because they were friends with Bud Selig. That's what happened. They're dumb. They ended up trying to tell Steve Phillips, go ahead and go put something out in the media and say that A-Rod tried to ask for the sun and moon and the stars. And that's why we didn't sign him. All because you wanted to be cheap. Because you think you know baseball, but you don't. Because you're an idiot. Now we have somebody smart. So that's what the Jets need. Until Woody Johnson sells the team, they will never be good. That's a fact. I'm not going to spit numbers at you. I don't care about numbers. I don't care about what Aaron Rodgers looked like. Yeah, he hasn't looked great. Oh, yeah. He'll take the blame for that. He might be out the door. Everybody might be gone. And that's fine. But the one person that gets to stay shouldn't stay. Everybody else should be able to say except his dumb ass. He's one of the worst owners in North America. Not just football. He makes the dude Brown in Cincinnati look like Robert Kraft. Because at least the guy in Cincinnati drafted Joe Burrow. And he got Jamar Chase. So he's not that bad. He knows how to find some talent. He knows how to pay him too. Woody Johnson's an idiot. And that's why the Jets are bad. Moving on though. That was a good rant. It was. Jet fans will appreciate that. But it's true. It's just like every year it's the same thing. But before I move on, the one person I think that could be able to fix this, I've said that Ben Johnson would fix, I think he would help Aaron Rodgers right the ship. Ben Johnson's a young, offensive-minded guy. I think a guy like Mike Vrabel, formerly of the Tennessee Titans, good coach as well, defensive-minded guy, though. I want the Jets to kind of get away from that mindset. They're too stuck on defensive-minded coaches. They need to go get themselves a young, offensive-minded coordinator. But if they don't decide to go that route, and they do decide to go the defensive route again or be the macho guy, right? You get a man's man. Go get Rex Ryan back. Rex Ryan is lobbying for the job again. Hell, if Donald Trump could be able to get president again, give it back to Rex. Because the last time I saw Rex, when he got hired with the Jets, they made 2 straight AFC championship games. That's the most successful run they've had in the last 30 years under Rex Ryan. So if you want somebody to hold the players accountable, because Rex Ryan don't take no shit. If you want that to happen, hire Rex. Let him right the ship. Let him do what he had to do to correct these guys, and maybe Ahmad Gardner can get his name back. Maybe. That's what I'm saying. Make the right decision. But the fact that Woody Johnson's going to be the one to make that decision, it's not going to be likely. After the break, we got some NBA talk, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what I want to do. Maybe I'll keep going into football. There's some other stuff I got to talk about after the break.
Yo, this is Cigar Gents and Gals. I want to give a shout out to my boy Barry for leaving podcast. Keep doing your thing, bro. Killing it.
The Dallas Cowboys. I hate talking about them because they're just one of those teams that can't get right. They have a mediocre head coach that is living off one championship that he won, and the man was bookended by 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in Green Bay. And you have a bunch of overrated talent on the defensive end as well as the offensive end. This team is what it is. You have an owner that built a stadium for concerts. It's a museum. It's for people to be able to take pictures and say that they've been to Jerry World. It's not a real home field advantage. It's a joke. The Cowboys have been an abject failure, an absolute joke franchise over the past 20-something years. Yeah, they've had pockets of success, but that doesn't take the stink of mediocrity off of them. It doesn't take the accountability away from Jerry Jones or off Jerry Jones. He's been a gaslighter for how long? All of those things are true, but they are in an influx season. They're 3-8. The head coach probably is going to get fired, but we still don't know that yet. But let's just live in a hypothetical world that Jerry Jones will pull the trigger and get rid of Mike McCarthy at the end of the season. There's rumors that Deion Sanders would be open to coaching this team. Michael Irvin has confirmed that Deion Sanders is interested. Deion has come out and said that he's not leaving. He's not even considering jumping ship to the NFL. We don't know what's true, but let's just live in this hypothetical bubble for a second. Even if Deion Sanders was interested, even if he would take the job with the Dallas Cowboys, would Jerry take Deion Sanders? See, the thing is, Jerry Jones used to be something different 20-something years ago. Jerry Jones took a lot of risks. Jerry Jones was the guy on the cutting edge of doing a lot of things. He made big blockbuster moves. That's what Jerry Jones was. The Dallas Cowboys, America's team, I need to steal headlines. He's not that guy anymore. He's not that guy to try to steal headlines. So what tells me is that Steven's probably running the show more nowadays. So if it was up to Jerry, old Jerry, yeah, Deion Sanders might be the head coach. But I don't think it'll happen this time. The other reason why I don't think it would happen is at this point of Jerry Jones's ownership career, and even not even this point, but kind of over the past 30 years or so, Jerry Jones doesn't like people that have their own opinions. Bill Parcells was here and was gone very quickly. We all know the story of Jimmy Johnson. Everybody outside of that were yes men, were people who just were happy to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys under Jerry's tutelage and ownership. Deion Sanders is not that type of guy. Deion Sanders is a game changer. Deion Sanders is a guy that wants to change programs. Deion Sanders wants to do it his way. He doesn't want an owner having the first interview after a loss or a win. He doesn't want an owner that can be able to come into the locker room and give a speech before he does. He doesn't want an owner that doesn't want to hire a GM and has an owner that literally is the GM. He needs somebody that's a football guy that can be able to stay out of his way and do his job so Deion can be able to do his job. Jerry Jones will not allow Deion Sanders to do that. This is why Wade Phillips was always a good option for Jerry Jones. Wade Phillips never upset the apple cart. Mike McCarthy is the same thing. You can disrespect Mike McCarthy in the media, nobody cares. Jerry Jones has emasculated Mike McCarthy to the point where a guy like Micah Parsons can do it. So Deion Sanders, for those reasons, would not take the job. Here's the other side of that. There's a reason why he might consider the job. If Dak Prescott is no longer the quarterback, if Jerry Jones eats all of this dead money that comes with Dak Prescott's contract and says, okay, I'll take Shador. We'll move up and draft Shador. We'll hire you, and we'll have that type of combination. If he decides to relinquish some level of power, then in this hypothetical bubble, yeah, I can see that happening. So we'll see. We live in a real world. We live in the world that Jerry Jones operates in and continues to gaslight his fans. Do I think it'll happen? No. Should it happen? Possibly. But what we do know is whatever Jerry's doing now or shadow boss Steven is doing is not working. And fans are starting to get really, really tired of it. Not just the fans, but also the players. So we'll see. I'd love to see somebody like Deion Sanders get the job. I'd like to see a guy like Ben Johnson get the job. I'd like to see a guy like Rex Ryan get the job. I would. But we know that's not going to happen. We know that. So why even live in this hypothetical bubble in the first place? Moving on. So you know what it's time for. My irrelevant news of the week.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch this? I mean, yeah, they stink.
Every week, Silent Assassin, we find some interesting stories. And what do I have on the docket today? Nationwide ground beef recall due to E. coli contamination. I feel like this is happening more and more, right? I mean, we've had this in the history, but it's like, well, what was the restaurant that had it the other day? McDonald's? Was it McDonald's?
Yeah, McDonald's had something, I think, like with their onions or something.
Oh, yeah.
Raw ones. Yeah.
Somebody died. It was terrible.
Yeah, and also, too, like, Chipotle always has issues with their lettuce, like E. coli and
Right.
lettuce and everything, so...
They need to stop. They need to stop farting on this stuff. Whoever's handling this, wash your hands. What are we doing? Like, come on now. It says that ground beef packed in Detroit by Wolverine Packing Company and distributed nationwide is being recalled due to possible E. coli contamination. Approximately 167,000 pounds are affected. Wow. Contamination was discovered after 15 people in Minnesota fell ill from E. coli. It's just amazing, man. Like, it kind of makes you like nervous from just eating ground beef or meat or anything. Like, would you ever go vegan?
I was vegan for a little bit, just for, like, diet-wise.
How are you vegan for a little bit? How does that work?
I went vegan twice for a few months just to, like, lose weight.
Did it work? Did it work?
Yeah.
Were you starving?
No, like, I wasn't. Like, my issue was, like, I would have stayed vegan, but one, it's not really, like, healthy. Like, you have to, like, make your own food for
Right.
it to be, like, healthy, because, like, all the soy and stuff is not good for you. And also, too, it's just so expensive to keep up with as well. But, like, all, like, the fake meat and stuff, like, I never was, like, a fan with. I just felt, like, gross. Like, what is this? Like, why does it look real? Why does it, like, taste similar, I guess? So I was more of just, like, on, like, the vegetable diet, basically.
I respect
Pasta
that.
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I respect that. I could never do it. Like, my fiance has been trying to get me to do that for a while, as well as my good friend, my buddy Claw. I would tell them the same thing. I'm not eating no damn bird food. I'm not doing it. I'll stay away from the damn ground beef packages, right? But no, I refuse. That's why Kevin Hart's restaurant closed down. Don't nobody care about that nonsense. People want their steaks. That's what they like. So, yeah, I mean, it just feels like it's happening a lot more frequently. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. Shake Shack will soon be served on Delta flights. Like, listen, that's fire. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, we were talking about plane food, right? And how bad it was or is. Could you imagine being on Delta and not even knowing that this is a story, right? That this is a thing. Fly on Delta, like, oh my God, forgot to eat. Forgot to eat before I got on the plane. I'm gonna be on this plane for about the next 3 hours and stuff. They serving some stuff, but I know what they're gonna serve. I don't want none of that stuff. Come around and the stewardess like, hey, Scrat, how you doing? Oh. Would you like some peanuts? I don't want no damn peanuts, man. Like, what kind of food you got? I know it's bad. You know, you got those little biscuits that are like microwaved and they're all dried out and taste bad, right? Give me some of that with some butter. I guess. You sure you want that? Cause we do have some Shake Shack in the back. What? Yo, listen, as bad as plain food is, I would try it. I would try Shake Shack. I would.
I'm like interested to see like how it's like packaged, just like frozen, like those like White Castles,
right?
You can get and just like microwaved.
And listen, those are frozen White Castle burgers is fire. Now you throw that shit in the microwave, lit. So I'm all for it. If it's good, let's try it out because that way there might be some other airlines that say, all right, I want Shake Shack. Let's go get a deal with such and such. Let's go get a deal with In-N-Out. Let's go get a deal with it. Keep it coming. That's all I'm saying. This is groundbreaking. I like this. Keep it up, Delta. Y'all are doing a great job. Moving on. Let's see. Oh, yes, this is interesting. Texas approves optional Bible-based curriculum for elementary schools. Texas Education Board approved optional Bible-based teachings for elementary schools, joining other Republican-led states aiming to expand religion in public classrooms. Schools adopting the curriculum developed by the state's education agency will receive additional funding with materials potentially in use next school year. I want to be nice. I'm going to try to be nice. Learning about religion, I think in school is fine, I guess. If it's an elective. Yeah, sure. If I can elect to do this or choose home ec, yeah, we can make that decision. But to mandate it? Might as well just mandate speaking about the Tooth Fairy or the Easter. I'm just saying, like, there's no. What is the reason for teaching kids this? This is what type of life skills are you giving them? This is not helping them for life skills. Where's the math? Where's the business courses? Where's the coding? The data. That's the stuff that these kids need to be learning. Religion.
I did not in school, but outside of school, I went to religion classes.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess 2nd grade to 9th, 10th grade.
Right.
And I don't remember.
You don't remember a damn thing.
No.
Of course.
I don't take anything. Like, I was more religious growing up, but we kind of fell out on that end. But so, like, it's not necessary.
No.
Like, unless you want to. You know, if, like, you're really into that, like, your family, you believe in all that stuff, you want to learn more, like, go ahead. But it should never be, like, if the school takes it on, no kid should be forced to go through it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just like, come on now. Like, don't nobody need to be forced to do this. It's just, if you don't go to Catholic school, why should you have to be forced to do it? I went to Catholic school my whole life. I had to sit there in mass and see people get up there for communion. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? What is that they eating? That's bread? I don't look like no damn bread to me.
No, it's like the wine too is like can kill a kid.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Like, come on now. They over here giving the kid Manischewitz. What are we doing? Manischewitz will put you on your ass. And you over here giving kid it. That's some real kind of predatorial shit. That's all I'm saying. That ain't good. That ain't good. That's all I'm saying. So, you know, moving on, I don't want to keep diving into the religion stuff because, you know, it's a very sensitive topic and people get mad. Did you hear about Kanye West getting sued for assault?
I didn't see that now.
Oh, yes. By model Jennifer Ann. So Jennifer Ann alleges that Kanye West turned a 2010 music video shoot into a traumatic ordeal, filing a lawsuit claiming he choked her until she blacked out. Said that he did some stuff and said that this is art. This is effing art. I am like Picasso. You know what's crazy about this particular allegation is that normally you would think that would be a big thing to rock somebody's career, but clearly it doesn't. because there's so many high-ranking officials that are in our government right now that have SA on their file, and they're still making decisions in our government. So I'm still appalled by it. But are we as a people still applauded, but still, taken back by this? I don't know if we are. It's a weird time. It is. And I feel bad for women that have been through a traumatic experience like this, because it's not every case, but there just seems to be, over the last few years or so, a lot of them falling on deaf ears. It's just sad. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I mean, he's been Teflon Don for the majority of his career. So I'm just going to watch it play out. I'm not going to say anything. Here's the allegation. Now we need to see how it plays out. That is my irrelevant news.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch them? I mean, they stink.
On to basketball. Don't we love it? The NBA is officially rocking. And I don't really have many. I think I do. I have some particular topics here. But the first one I'd like to just get out of the way. LeBron James announced that he was leaving social media. And everybody's been discussing it. And I promised myself that I wouldn't discuss it the way that everybody else is. They're guessing why he's stepping away from social media. And I think it has a lot to do with the coverage of Bronny and decisions he's made. And I, for one, have not agreed with the course of action that the Lakers and Bronny have agreed to in regards to him just playing home games. Like, what the fuck are we doing? So I get it. I have friends that hit me up on a constant criticizing this and that. I get it. But here's my issue that I have. LeBron James is a Hall of Fame player. LeBron James is still playing at a high level. LeBron James is one of the most polarized athlete in our lifetime, if not the most polarized athlete in our lifetime. Why the fuck should I care if LeBron James wants to get off of social media for a while? Why is this even a story? This is the thing that I don't understand, is that I want to know what these particular people are going to do when he retires. Nobody else gets this type of coverage. The fact that the man has come out and says, and maybe he wants to be an attention whore, then let him. But the fact that he wants to get off of social media, and every single platform that has a sports show or sports division, we're commenting on LeBron James stepping away from social media. Who cares? Why does this matter? Why are so many people obsessed with this 20-year-old kid and what he decides to do and what the Lakers have allowed him to do? It doesn't affect the Lakers in regards to their main team. It don't affect nobody's pocket. What do we care? I need people to really step back and look at things from a macro standpoint. We're talking about an athlete that doesn't want to be on social media for a while. Is your life going to end because you can't see LeBron James tweet? Or put a picture about his family on Taco Tuesday? Find something else to do. Your writers, all of these people, like, find something to do. This is sad that we actually have to discuss this as a fucking topic. Have some pride. You don't even have to be a LeBron fan to be like, yo, this is a little weird. The man wants to step away. All right, cool. If he wants to be a weirdo and announce it to the world, let him be that. But who cares? I've seen people criticize this guy for being at his kids' high school games and dunking on the dunk line with the rest of the kids. Not realizing that, hey, maybe he wants to give the kids a show that don't really get a chance to see him. Their parents can't afford to watch him play. They automatically got to go to something negative. He's at his kid's game. That's a little weird to me. And everybody who covers it like it's the biggest story on planet Earth for the week, you're a little fucking weird. Moving on, because we all need to. Christ. Paul George. Paul George, to me, has always been a very interesting character. He is a good player, has the skill set. A lot of the young generation think Paul George is probably one of the greatest basketball players ever played. He has a good skill set, can shoot the three, 6'8", has a handle. But this whole podcast age is weird for athletes. I am not a big fan of an athlete having a podcast, especially during the season. And the Philadelphia 76ers right now are 2-12. They lost their last game, and the man uploaded, he couldn't wait to upload his latest pod after their latest loss. Like, bruh, where are your priorities as an athlete? Where is your shame to know that you haven't played consistent ball all season? You've hyperextended your knee twice. I'm not saying that's your fault, but at the end of the day, do we really give a fuck about what your podcast has to say? If I'm a Philadelphia 76er, you think I'm running to listen to your podcast after you have a terrible game? I may break my TV and my phone if I see you post a podcast. What do we do? Where's the shame in our athletes? Micah Parsons, as dumb as he is, has a podcast that nobody cares about. Just be an athlete. I'm not telling you to shut up and dribble, but you can focus on your game while the season's in. After the season, go ahead and be on podcasts. Go ahead and have your own podcast. Do movies. Go to wrestling. Do whatever the hell you want to do. But during the season, it looks crazy to have a podcast right after you get the doors blown off of you. What has happened to the modern athlete? Like, I sound like an old man, but it's like, I don't get this. And I don't think that it's a trend that should continue. I actually think that teams should put it in their clauses and say, you know, that podcast stuff that you want to do in the season, nah, you're going to have to table that until the off season. We need you to work. We need you to come to work every day and make sure that you're prepared to try to get us and help us win some basketball games. Podcast? After the break, more 76ers. The big stuff. Because Paul George is small potatoes. After the break. The 76ers are a mess. They're like 2-12 right now, or 3-12. Here's the question. Has Joel Embiid created an irreversible culture in Philadelphia? And when we talk about irreversible culture, it's not a positive one. There's a toxic culture in Philadelphia. There's a big report out there right now. Shams reported that Tyrese Maxey aired out some grievances to Joel Embiid and held him accountable for constantly being late, not being on time, not being, ready to roll for the team and be the leader that they need him to be. And according to Shams, the act is getting really, really old with the players. Joel Embiid, according to the reports, after the fact, was mad about certain things. I'm going to get into that a little bit after this, but if he took accountability for what Tyrese Maxey said, cool. That's not what bothers me, though. The fact that a player has to call you out for something that we have heard be a problem for you for a very long time is not even your issue. It's the Philadelphia 76ers problem. They've allowed you to be this lazy star player that is entitled to be able to do what he wants to do. This is why the Philadelphia 76ers have not gotten to an Eastern Conference championship in forever. This is why they haven't made the NBA Finals in forever. This is why they don't win consistently in forever. Because you have a guy that you've committed big time money to. This guy's making like $70 million a year. And for him to not take accountability to being late, to not keeping his body in shape, to constantly not be available in playoff games, to come up short performance-wise in those games is a Philadelphia 76er problem. But here's the Joel Embiid side of it, and here's why he's the problem, is that report came out, and he's mad that the report got leaked. So his accountability came with the news that the report got leaked. Yes, I need to be perfect. I need to be better. I'm going to do that going forward. I don't think anybody in the Philadelphia organization believes that, because I'm sure that they've heard that from him over the years, time and time again. For you to not have any respect to be on time like your teammates are, guys are watching film and you're not there, you're not on time. What message are you sending as the superstar player? That it doesn't matter. I got paid. I got my money. So why should anybody give that type of respect to you? And I'm not saying that players don't look up to a guy like Embiid and want him to be better. I'm sure that's why the conversation was had. But at the same time, it's like, why should a guy like Tyrese Maxey, who's a young player in this league, trying to find his way, is a budding star in this league, he has to be the one to call you out? Kind of reminds me of the Kobe Bryant Shaq issues back in the day. Shaq was never in shape, didn't really try as hard in some aspects, and Kobe Bryant didn't like it. He would challenge Shaq. He would go to the coaching staff. They would have fights and disagreements in practice because Kobe's like, I need you to be better. We can't win this way with you just thinking that you can be able to mail it in. The fact that the 76ers have allowed him to sit out back-to-backs. You're giving this guy all of this money and it doesn't matter to him if he's available for any more than 45 games. You guys have created this toxic culture of no accountability to the point where a guy like Tyrese Maxey has to be the grown-up in the room, not only for Joel Embiid, but also for the Philadelphia 76ers. It's embarrassing. So do I think that the toxic culture can be able to be repaired? No, not as long as Joel Embiid and this management is there. If I was the owner, I would clean shop. I would wait until I have a chance to be able to make Paul George available. I would also make Joel Embiid available because you have to try to find a way to get the respect and the accountability back in your franchise. And if your quote unquote best player is wiping his ass with your accountability structure, then you know what you need to do. You can't fire yourself, so somebody else has to go. Guys got to be better. And Joel Embiid has had this slack behavior for a very long time. He comes off as a guy that doesn't care. He talks a lot of garbage on the court and he complains a lot. And when things don't go his way, he cries a lot too. At some point, you got to be accountable, be a man of the team, and take the reins and try to get this team over the hump that you yourself haven't gotten. You've had James Harden, you have this guy, you have this guy. There's no excuses. Try to figure it out and make it work. But the fact that a young guy like Tyrese Maxey has to hold you accountable, it might not have been an argument, it might not have gotten contentious, but the fact that he had to be the one to say, yo, my man, you got to be better, is kind of shameful. And if you're not ashamed, you should be a little embarrassed. Sixer fans are extremely embarrassed and ashamed that they root for you as their star player. I know a lot of 76ers fans, and they're done with him. They want to start a new regime. They want just a clean slate. They would rather go back to being bad before trust the process. They would. Because if this is what they had to look forward to in regards to trusting the process when Joel Embiid first came on the scene, I don't think any Philadelphia 76er fan would allow the 76ers to draft this guy. Because it hasn't been roses. It hasn't been a fun and experience for many 76ers fans. So yeah, we can hold Joel Embiid accountable. But at the same time, everybody has to be accountable. Management, head coach, star players, role players, ownership. Do what you have to do to make this franchise around the NBA respectful. Because right now, they're a clown show. And poor Nick Nurse has to figure this out with this slop unit of a team that he has. Moving on. Sticking on the NBA. The NBA is dead. Ratings are bad. And we can kind of maybe account the ratings to an election year, right? Anytime that there's a presidential election, ratings kind of flip-flop for the NBA. But I don't think that that's a problem. Those can be able to be recovered and they can bounce back from that, right? But the NBA just signed a big TV rights deal. It's like $76 billion across multiple different platforms. But you sign this big historic deal, but yet the interest of your game is waning. It was waning to the point where you have to install a in-season tournament. The NBA Cup, it was pretty good last year, but why is it not holding the ratings still? Why are people still disinterested in basketball? It's because over the years, we've said that the NBA doesn't make divisions count. Now I'm hearing rumors that Adam Silver wants to take away the conferences and just have the top 16 teams make the playoffs. What is this, the WNBA? The reason why the WNBA does is because they ain't got enough teams. There's 30 teams in the NBA. You need conferences and divisions, and you need to make sure that divisions count instead of all of this other bullshit that's going on. This is why people are frustrated with the game. They know that watching game 11 or game 9 or game 15 means nothing. Watching a game on TNT on a Wednesday or a Thursday, it means nothing in November. Here's the biggest problem that the NBA is having. It's the actual game in itself. It's boring. I myself have been a basketball fan my entire life. The only reason why I'm excited about this season is just to see my Lakers and JJ Redick and how they play. I tend to not be interested in other games that are on. I will watch it because I have to cover it. But in regards to some enjoyment, I don't find enjoyment in this basketball. You know why? Because everybody and their mama chucks threes. It's a 3-point shooting game. You got teams that throw up 63s a game. They shoot more threes than they shoot twos. It's not enjoyable to watch. The NBA used to be a sport that you see athleticism on display. If everybody's shooting threes, then what makes the NBA different than Pee Wee basketball? What makes it different than the WNBA? What makes it different than college? What makes it different than rec ball? What makes it different than any other sport or any other league that's not the greatest athletes in the world? Seeing guys dunk, seeing guys play great defense, seeing how guys can be able to be three-tier scorers. You're not seeing that anymore. Everything's a 3. Crazy statistics is that back in the 80s, the average 3-point attempt per team was like 6. You go into the 90s, that increased to like 13. You go into the 2000s, so there in regards to like maybe the mid-teens. You go into the 2010s, it's into the 20s. Now we're into the 2030s, and we're averaging 37 attempts per team. We have the defending NBA champs right now. They take like 53s a game. How is that fun? Who would want to watch that? Who's going to want to watch all of this dribble, shoot threes, step back threes at that? Back in the day, we had specialists. Guys like Dan Marley, Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, Peja Stojakovic, Del Curry. All of these guys were specialists that shot the 3. So when those guys came in the game, they ran plays and tried to get them shots behind the arc. Within the flow of the game. Now, if you're not shooting 13 threes as a superstar per game, they look at the statistics and all of these analytics as it's a bad shot. A 2-point shot is a bad shot. What the fuck are we doing? Adam Silver needs to figure something out. I've heard Nick Wright say it, that maybe there needs to be a restriction, that you can't shoot so many threes in a game. They should cap you at 30. And then you have to figure it out. Once you hit your cap, you got to figure it out after there. You can probably be able to make a 3-point basket outside of an and one. Maybe a dunk costs 3 points in the final 5 minutes of the game or some shit. Make it different. But to just chuck 73s a game and then to tell us that this is basketball, To have a guy like James Harden be second all-time in three-point makes, it's embarrassing. And I'm not even throwing shade at him, but it's just the microcosm of the game itself is that we live in an era where I'm not shocked that a guy like James Harden is second all-time in threes because that's all he took during his career. What happened to basketball? What happened to strategically trying to get shots off, mid-range shots, pick and roll, get into the paint, see the guy sagging off a little bit and take a jump shot? Everything's a dribble, 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 step back three. Take the screen, three. On the transition, somebody, instead of them running to the rim, they run to the three-point line. That's not fun. That's not showcasing your athlete's athleticism and how special they are in regards to how the game has evolved physically. That's why ratings are down. That's why the interest level of the NBA is down, because it's the quality of the actual game. You can be able to put in all of these different things. In-season tournament, you can have the All-Star game, be some tournament, 3-on-3, whatever you want to do. It's not going to change the fact that people watch the NBA on a Monday and they can't get through a game. They can watch the first quarter maybe, they can't finish it. Because the first quarter looks a lot like the third quarter, and the second quarter looks a lot like the fourth quarter. It's all the same shit. No team plays different anymore. It's all threes. Threes. It's not basketball. Where's the strategy? Everybody plays different defense the same. Switch on everything. Don't fight through screens. Have the big guy guarding the small guy. That's not basketball. And as Adam Silver, if he's the commissioner, if he's in charge of the competitive balance or whatever the hell it is, fix it. Because you have this big TV rights deal. You have interest going down. Your product is going to be in big trouble. Because if people rather watch hockey than the NBA, you might not ever get close to a $70 billion deal again. People are telling you without necessarily telling you that the product that you're putting out there is not acceptable. Fix it. I've given you some tips to fix it. Restrict the line. Allow dunks to be 3 points. Have a 2-minute thing where points are a little different within 2 minutes. Do something that's going to be able to generate the interest back in the game, because right now, as a lifetime basketball fan, I don't care. Moving on. It's those Mets. Those Mets are on the docket. Here. Listen. There's only one thing that we want to talk about. I don't care about what's going on with, what's his name? Jeff McNeil. I don't care about Pete Alonso's market. I don't care about what Mr. Mania is going to get. I don't care about Garrett Crockett. I don't care about Blake Snell. I don't care about no one. Corbin Burns. Don't care. It's all about Juan Soto. And Juan Soto met with Hal Steinbrenner, met with a lot of teams, but this is the one that I want to talk about, because every Yankee fan at this point is so happy. Oh my goodness, he met with us, and now we have the inside track. The reports are Hal Steinbrenner met with Juan Soto and gave him reassurance that, hey, he's going to have a seat at the table. He's going to be involved in certain moves that are made. And, they want his input. The relationship is going to be a sound relationship between player and owner. And according to reports, Juan Soto enjoys that type of dynamic. He had a good relationship with the Washington Nationals owner. He had a very good relationship with the San Diego Padres owner. And he wanted the same type of rapport with Hal Steinbrenner. Well, according to the reports, everything went well. Meeting went great. They exchanged pleasantries, shook hands, and left. Hal Steinbrenner then goes on the radio and says, oh, well, you know, things went well. We laid out our plan for him, and was asked the question, well, are you concerned about Steve Cohen and those Mets? I mean, you got to be concerned. Yeah, okay. You know, we laid it out for him and said that, hey, if it wasn't for us, Steve Cohen wouldn't be a man. He wouldn't be an owner in the league, which is true. You know, Hal did go to bat for Steve. And we appreciate you for that, Hal. We do. Hal also told Scott Boras that, hey, and Juan Soto, listen, you see Carlos Mendoza? We bred him to be a manager. That's our guy. See the guy in Philly? Manager in Philly. That's our guy. We did that. So all of these places that you might want to go to, just know that the Yankee imprint is everywhere. We are the biggest brand in baseball. We have the most revenue. No one can touch us. That's their selling point. And it's a good one. But here's why I'm going to tell Yankee fans that although you might have felt good after hearing those reports, I'm here to burst your bubble. Because none of those things matter to Juan Soto. He could love the conversation that he had with Hal. He can love the fact that he's going to have a seat at the table and be involved in certain conversations and trades. He would love to have his name in Monument Park with Babe Ruth and Luke Gehrig and Derek Jeter and, you know, Reggie Jackson, all of these greats. He would love to say, you know, with you, we're going to get back to the World Series again. Maybe win it this time. All of those things are nice. But if Juan Soto doesn't see the money that he wants, because all he wants, and he told you right after you lost the World Series, he didn't even wait. He said, cameras, zoom it and zoom it good. I want the money. I'm going to listen to everybody. I want to be the highest paid. That's literally what he told us without saying it. He didn't say, I enjoyed my time as a Yankee. We'll see what happens. But I love this year. I love the camaraderie that we had. I love the fact that we bogged down and we got to the World Series. We, came up a little short, but, I really appreciate the time that I had here. And, we'll see what happens in the offseason. I didn't hear that out of Juan Soto. I heard that everybody's on level playing field. Come get me. And that tells me that it's all about money. So for every Yankee fan out there, go ahead and go to your platforms. Go ahead and go to X and tweet and be on your forums and talk to your friends and say, man, we're going to stick it to those Mets. No, you won't. This is going to be the time where we're going to disappoint you. And I'm not even saying that he's going to sign with us. But I'm going to tell you that we are going to put an offer out there that if he truly wants money, that's all we're going to give him. We're not going to sell him on, oh, you could be the king of queens. You could be, hey, we're building up all. He don't give a damn about none of that. The last time the Yankees won a World Series, he was 11. You think he cares about history? We got 2 World Series. He probably don't even know what year we won them. And for me, I don't care. I don't need you to understand the history of the Mets. What I need you to do is take this $750 and be the highest paid player and come play for my team. So if Hal is not willing to pony up the $700 million that this kid wants, and 701 because he wants to officially have the highest paid contract in the history of the game, that's all that matters. So you can be able to tell him all of this nonsense. Yankee fans can feel all glittery and jittery and happy inside. But if he ends up coming up short and we end up blowing him out of the water, he's coming to Queens. And that's a fact. And nothing else. Juan Soto, I'm predicting it right now. It's going to happen at the winter meetings. You're going to see the breaking news ticker at the bottom or maybe on your phone. I don't know. People on their phone now, they don't watch TV anymore. Breaking news. Is it going to be Ken Rosenthal that does it? Is it going to be John Heyman that breaks the news? It might be John. Might be John. Juan Soto signs with the New York Mets for 15 years, $715 million record deal. That will be what Juan Soto wants. That's what he's always wanted. Damn everything else. So keep fooling yourselves. Keep fooling yourself that the history of the Yankees is going to do anything. You will see. After the break, the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week. And it's a good one. After the break. Welcome back, y'all. So, like I said, all of that stuff that people want to talk about with Juan Soto, winning, things that winning matters. It may. You don't want to play for a loser. But at the end of the day, it's about money. And if you ain't got the cash, then he don't want your ass. That's just the way it goes. Moving on to the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Every week I go around the room and I ask, who is the Dummy of the Week? Jimmy, the super intern, he had to go. He is a big-time avid poker player. He may end up going pro one day. I'm not going to lie to you. He's pretty good. So he is not here, but the silent assassin still remains. Who you got?
I'm going to go with all these people who've been harassing Jason Kelsey the past month or so.
Yeah.
You had like the college kid, and then Jason kind of flipped out through the kid's phone and then apologized. But now recently, the other night, there were fans, supposedly, these grown adults that were screaming and cursing at him to come and sign some autographs. And Jason was like, no, I don't want to sign anything. You guys are following me around or whatever. And there's one guy in particular just going off, like basically manic episode, screaming at him, and then Jason then comes out of the car and then walks over and actually signs everything for the people. And all of a sudden the guy just like changes personality. He's like, I love you, Jason. I'm so sorry. Like, thank you so much. And then Jason is just very, very chill. And, you know, if I was Jason, I would just be like, just take off in my car and like not even care. Like, this dude is harassing him, you know. But I don't know, these fans need to chill. I don't even know if you call them fans. Like, there was no kids around or anything to get the autograph. It was like full blown adults just acting crazy. So
yeah, I would definitely give the incels the
Dummy, yeah.
Here's the thing, right? When you see grown ass men over there acting like fools with another grown ass man that got some money, he's a star. Like, why are you behaving like that? If the man don't want to sign our autographs, they got to be a reason, right? He must be tired. He's a human being, right? But for you to act like that, and mind you, there's no kids there. It's not like you're trying to get an autograph for your kid or you know, a family member. You are chasing this grown-ass man for an autograph. If I was Jason Kelsey, I'd be like, where is your blow-up doll so I can sign that? Because I'm sure that's all the type of love and affection you get is from your blow-up fembot doll because you're an incel. That's just the way I feel. Like, that's ridiculous. Get a life. Do something constructive. They probably want to sell the thing because they don't want to work.
Dummy, yeah.
Get these niggas the head out of here. Get them out of here. I don't care. I don't care about fans. If I was a guy that was going through the airport and I was famous, I'm not even gonna say I don't care about fans, but you have to allow people who are famous a reprieve. Give them some space because they are humans too. Sometimes they are not in the mood to deal with crazy fans that are just irrational and thinks that I'm gonna sit here and sign 5 fucking things that you put in my face. I just, I feel bad. Being a celebrity is not easy. And being consistent as well and not showing people that you're human is also not easy, because if you try to be emotional or try to just be a normal person and it rubs the wrong person or rubs people the wrong way, it's like now they call you a bad person. Now you're not for the fans, you're not for the people. Dude, he just had a bad day. Like, just chalk it up to that. You know what I mean? It's just so, yeah. Jason Kelce tried to do the right thing. Good guy, man. So, but those fans, those incels, the ones that rub and squeeze on their Fenbots all night and look at their Jason Kelce autograph T-shirt.
Dummy, yeah.
They get that. That was a good one. I have my own. May I have the drum roll, please? And the winner for Dummy of the Week, the New York Jets. The New York Jets get my...
Dummy.
Now, here's the thing. As I said, I am not going to put much blame on an Aaron Rodgers, right? I'm not going to put much blame on Devontae Adams. However, if you look into the history of this franchise, and I have a lot of friends that are Jets fans, and man, if you look at the pain in their eyes year after year after year, it's like every couple years they lose a year of their life. It's just sad to watch. But here's my thing. Have you ever seen a franchise so inept that they've been to one damn Super Bowl and they've never been back? They don't even have a chance to lose and say, we lost the Super Bowl. They've never been back. There's a curse on this franchise. And I think it starts with the owner. He's an idiot. We know that. But I also believe that the biggest thing is they need to get their ass out of Jersey. They're not a Jersey team. Go back to your roots. Stop being dummies and stop being cheap. The fact that Woody Johnson just go sell your baby oil and get a new stadium. Go to Queens, get a stadium. They're building a soccer stadium in Long Island. You can be able to partner with them and have the Jets in Long Island. Boom. Or here's another one. How about you call Steve? Call Stevie and say, hey, Stevie, can Citi Field hold a football team in a football stadium? Can a football field? Can it do that? And Uncle Stevie's gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, we can. And we would love to have you. Let's break this curse together. Both curses. The curse of the Wilpons and the curse of, we can't break the curse of Woody Johnson because you're still here. But you get what I'm saying. Like, we can be able to try to reverse something. The Jets are just an inept franchise. They tried to kick Fireman Ed, or whatever his name is, out of the team. He's no longer like the mascot anymore. He's even said that. Come on. Do something. Do something that can be able to have the fans love you again. Go back to Queens. That's all I'm saying. Nobody cares about the Jets in Jersey. Nobody even cares about that stupid ass cheap stadium that they built out there. Let the Giants stay there. If they want to go ahead and stay there and put blue all over the place, I wouldn't even blame them. Because I think, you know what it is? I think the Giants are waiting for the squatters to get out so they can be able to kind of rearrange and change the stadium around. They're just waiting. They don't want to, put any bells and whistles in. It's kind of like that that family member that comes there, you don't want to buy anything expensive because you know that they're gonna ruin it. That's what it is. I don't want to buy no good china because I know that he'll probably eat out of it when you're not supposed to eat the good china. You eat out of good china. They don't want to impress nobody. They just want to leave the stadium bare so they can be able to leave. Okay? The Lakers, they went ahead and said, you know what? We are going to let the Staples Center just run down because we want the Clippers out. And once they leave, we're going to go ahead and change the naming rights of the building. They changed the naming rights of the building. It's no longer the Staples Center. It's Crypto Arena now. Why? Because they realize that the Clippers are getting out. That's all it is. So that's what the Jets need to do. Put yourself in position to be a respectful franchise. You saw great players. LaDainian Tomlinson has come to the Jets in the twilight of his career. You guys didn't win. You had Brett Favre come to the Jets. He didn't win. You had Aaron Rodgers come to the Jets. Devontae Adams, one of the top 5 receivers, maybe top 10 receivers of all time. He can't even get right. There's a curse here. That's all I'm saying. Because guess what's going to happen? Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Minnesota and he's going to win. Anybody that leaves the Jets succeeds. How does that work? There's something here. Something in the water. Poor Daniel Jones. At least he was a Giant. If he was a Jet, could you imagine what his career would be like? He'd probably be out of the league. Look at Zach Wilson. You don't even know where he's at. Poor Sam Darnold. He's playing well, but he had to get out of New York to do that. So that's all I'm saying. Jet fans, if you guys want to change and change for the better, move the team. If you're Jet fans, you need to boycott. You need to write Woody Johnson. You need to say, we want out of New Jersey. It smells here. Okay? We don't like it here. We want to go to Long Island. We want to go to Long Island where the people are nice, quiet. Their fans are real hard fans, and we don't care about this ugly-ass stadium that you built for us on the cheap. That's all I'm saying. That's the only way the Jets are going to rid themselves of the curse that has been there, because the last time the Jets were good was in the 80s. They were a little good. And why was that? Because it was in Shea Stadium. That's all it is. Go back to Queens. Go back to Long Island. Figure it out. If you stay in Jersey, you will continue to be losers and dummy. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. That's all for this show. Little PSA. Don't worry about the bigger picture sometimes. Sometimes it's important to stay in the now, right? A lot of people like to plan out their lives too much and say, in 5 years, I'm going to be this. 5 years, I want to do this, this. 10 years, I want to do this. Because there's so many things that can happen in that time that things change. Your opinions change. Your maturity level changes. Even your team you select. You might be a Mets fan or a Yankee fan now and then say, hey, I want to go ahead and think that this team is going to be good for the next 30 years and I'm going to support them. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be true to the colors. And then things change. Owners change. Players change. Culture changes. And then maybe you think about something different. So things change is what I'm saying. Don't plan your life out too much. Live in the now. And what I mean by the now is that if you're a baseball fan, don't look at your team 15 years from now and say how good we can be. Look at your team now and realize that none of you people are ever going to get fucking Juan Soto. He's coming to New York. He's going to be a Met. He's going to be a Met for the next 15 years, and we're going to get him now. Okay, we're going to be able to enjoy all the fruits of his labor. We're going to be able to have, oh my God signs. We're going to have all of these things. We're going to have these big billboards all over the place. Dodgers don't got no shot. Phillies, no shot. Blue Jays, no shot. Royals don't even bother. Go ahead, Rays. You guys don't even have a roof, much less have $70 million to go ahead and offer him. Go ahead. Live in the now. That's what the Mets are doing. We don't care about 15 years down the line. You see how I tied all that stuff together? We don't give a shit. We don't care about if it's a 20-year contract. We don't care if it's a Bobby Bonilla deal. We're going to give him all of the money. We don't care. It's not my money. I hear Met fans, it's too much. It's not my money. It's not my money. I don't care. What do I care? Doesn't matter. So just get comfortable. In 2.5 weeks, we are going to get the news that we want. That's all I'm saying. It's the worst kept secret. That's all I'm saying. So don't live down the road. Don't plan your life out. Live in the now. And understand that things are changing. Those same old Mets that you guys like to talk about and make fun of people who are Met fans all around the world. When people used to see that blue hat and that orange logo, oh, they used to laugh. No one's going to be laughing very soon anymore. When we are the big fish in the big pond, and you still got guys like Hal Steinbrenner saying, well, maybe, we can figure it out. And we're going to give them the money and give everybody else the money as well. That's what we do. The new Mets are here. Live in the now. Realize we ain't playing around. That's all I'm saying. That's all for the show. That's it. That's it. We're good. I'm back. I got to let people know I'm back. All right? It's not about, ending nice and saying, see ya, peace, stay safe, I'm not doing that today. All right? I'm back, and I want to let everybody know that the Mets, we here. It's about the Mets. I don't care about nothing else. No basketball, no football, I don't care. Mets, Soto, 750. That's what we giving them. That's it. That's all I care about. That's it. That's all I want. If I don't get Juan Soto, I'm not doing another show. I'm not doing another show for another month. I don't have to worry about that because it's going to happen. John Heyman told me. Okay?
My son is the champ. So get over it.